Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs. Our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. And now we've introduced all the protagonists in the first part of the season, Hermitcraft has now entered the Dark Tournament arc. Most hermits have now spun off Vintage Beef's Hermitcraft TCG into its own side series, so here's a quick reminder we won't be covering videos which are just 1v1 battles with no other Minecraft action. We're basically recapping Cheers while they're off making Frasier, if Frasier was about Frasier challenging members of his family to a duel every 5 minutes, and if Niles was played by Wells Knight. So if you hear the cards a call in, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. The best news of the week, really, is that we, as a planet, are clenching slowly out of February, and let's be honest here, New Year's to March is sort of a time when YouTube as a whole decides to give up and roll over. It's a bad time for views, a great time to experiment with letting our writer do all the voiceovers. This is all to congratulate us on not just us, but also False Symmetry making it out of the January slog, as she is back on the server with a song and a smile. Full disclosure, she's not the one singing.
Way below the eyes you can see, like a British Captain America frozen. I just wanna say welcome back to Falls today. Don't know where she is, oh wait, there she is. Welcome back, Falls, to the server.
Naturally, the best thing to do on your return from exile is to check out all the new minigames and absolutely demolish people at them. Did she? Well, you can watch her beat Azuma's Electrocourse as well as face XB and Vintage Beef in a TCG card duel in her own video.
Look at this. Does this face look familiar?
That's a good looking card right there.
We will spoil that the experience left her ready and willing to trade, gamble, and win her way to the top, as she's already planning not just which hermits to use in the deck, but even which hermits to get those hermits from.
Ooh.
Wait, what if we do a three-way trade here? I'll trade XB the double terraform for something good,
Right.
and then he could trade you.
Oh, no, wait, I do have a double terraform.
You do? Oh no.
A return just as exciting arrives with Wells Knight, who has now released his third episode of the season. It is the siren call of a new card game to play that lured Wells out of his home, and as long as he didn't see his shadow on the way out, we should be in for a quick and warm spring.
But there have been some other hermits who have also been gone a long time who have recently come back, and I figured if there was a time to do it, now seemed like a good time.
He has actually been uploading other games on his channel, and it's pretty fun. Naturally, the other game he's here to play is Beef's masterpiece. Being apparently an adept card game player, Wells actually gives us some insight on exactly how he's going to balance his deck. The trick here is that for a good play, you need both character and item cards, so it would help to have a larger pool of both to pick from, which is why he challenges Impulse to a duel as soon as the tutorial fight is done.
All right, so let's see if he's going to catch fire yet. And that's a yes.
You do.
I think he's dead either way.
He's dead either way.
Oh yeah, he is dead either way.
I get to do that. I get to do that next round too, right?
The duel is of special interest to us because the two of them actually try out a brand new arena, just barely finished and still full of that new card smell. Yes, with the influx of card activity on the server, Cubfan135 got tired of waiting for his turn on the battle zone and just went and built his own.
Yeah. Looks like Jevin versus Gem here. Yeah, there's so much interest here. I think we need another arena.
In the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Spirit, the Spectre, whatever that pharaoh actually was, Cub has raised an Egyptian pyramid to serve as his own TCG arena. The place is just as automated as the other two, if not more, since Cubfan made sure to revisit some mechanics and investigate them on if he can put his own spin on it. Admittedly, he had to walk some of the innovation back when the comments pointed out how they clash with the game's mechanics, but thanks to that, the battleground passes Vintage Beef's inspection with flying colours, and with that, it's time to duel.
Welcome everybody to the opening of the TCG Pyramid.
Thank you everybody who's here today to watch this.
Yes, all 0 people.
Remember Cub's giant mini-golf pyramid from a few years ago? I've decided that in the TCG anime, Cub is possessed by the spirit of himself from a previous season. Cast your pick for the Kaiba equivalent in the comments. Cub is also now equipped to referee TCG matches and dish out the rewards thanks to Vintage Beef's new program of encouraging other players to be game masters. Beef puts him to the test along with Doc M and Etho, talks strategy and cracks some packs with Rendog, and even welcomes Hypnotized back to the server for card game fun times.
I got TNT. It does 60 damage, plus my 70 damage is 130.
Oh.
Knocks your guy out.
The turntables, wow.
How the turntables turneth.
Beef is probably quite happy to have some extra staff because customers keep knocking holes in the card game shop.
All right. What did you break?
Hey Beavers, I accidentally efficiency 5 the floor. By the way, this floor is not efficiency 5 friendly.
No, it is not.
Beef, you've got a bit of a leak in the ceiling. Oh, the card decks are gonna be ruined.
And that's even before he puts the first error card up for auction, a B-dubs card with a misprinted typing. At least he has time for the recreational activity of Azuma's Elytra course, which we know he wasn't the first to attempt because he didn't get squashed by anvils.
If I'm reading the rules correctly... Whoa. Oh, I almost landed there. That would have been bad.
A real community man, Azumavoid introduces Mumbo to the copper aging facility I built for him, as well as how I built it on a server I don't play on. He also gets Keralis to AFK for him, but we know Keralis sometimes gets his children to grind resources for him in Minecraft, so we'll never know exactly who was AFKing at the farm that night. But whoever they were, Azuma got some new farms for them to load. First, of course, is the slime farm, but now it also makes glow ink. Why does Azumavoid need industrial amounts of glow ink? Because it's funny how the axolotls kill the squid. The farm actually uses allays to gather the ink as it floats to the surface, so it's a real treat to watch working.
This farm turned out to be everything that I wanted it to be, just something totally different. It's about looking up and seeing in action, and as you can see here, it's just wild. There's so much going on all of the time.
But not as much as this Super Smelter X came up with. The gist of it is that we're farming bamboo to fuel the furnaces, but this time around we're farming it by force growing it with bone meal, and we're getting bone meal through composting the shamelessly overflowing cactus supply from Azuma's cacti farm. It's actually a really clever idea, only held back by the speed of composting and item distribution. It's a good thing then that X doesn't have anything urgent to microwave, but also has so many more sources of bone meal available, including, mind you, an actual skeleton farm he's kind of forgotten about. Perfectly fair, you don't usually think of skeletons as fuel, but this is Minecraft we're talking about, some of them straight up drop coal. Rendog and Keralis are probably going to find out how quickly their own skeletons drop coal if they continue having barbecues indoors. The Gigalogs business meeting takes place in one of those modern hipster offices with a fire pit directly in the floor. A+ for vibes, big F for health and safety. But at least the sales of birchwood are up.
After January, Kralis, that's it. This line of Gigalogs will never be sold ever again anywhere in the world. So that's it.
Funny, Mr. CEO.
Yeah?
It is February at this stage.
Ooh, whoops. Yeah, the end of February is the last that you could get the Gigalogs. So you got a couple weeks left.
In his downtime, Ren has been planning a mega boat racecourse with Etho, spanning an entire frozen river biome. He's laid the foundations for a racing pavilion designed in creative and named in a dream. Yes, we're serious. Watch the episode.
The Racing Pavilion, which I'm going to be calling the Loft. Not exactly the prettiest thing in the world. Let's get the Gigabug flying here, guys.
So while Ren is the latest person to move all his TCG content into its own spin-off series, he has even more spinning off to do when he test drives his proposed route around the frozen landscape.
Yeah, looks like just a bunch of lines all over the show right now, but I do believe there was method to my madness.
The snow isn't ideal for plant life though, which is why Pearlescent Moon decides to brush it all off her megaflora before mapping the base to see how much everything has changed. And a top-down view of the area is almost as breathtaking as the view from ground level, but that's a real eye-opener.
Did someone ask for a new favorite view outside of my base? Because I think I've just made one. My golly goo, we rockin' the Mumbo stash, we rockin' a little bit of a mohawk going on.
Pearl the cleaning lady also has beef with beef. All these TCG booster pack wrappers are creating too much litter. Luckily, they come to an arrangement in which Pearl builds a booster recycling center right next to the TCG shop, and anyone who recycles enough packs can receive a reward, some bonus cards, or a spare token for the vending machines. So this is basically the Hermitcraft equivalent of rinsing and returning your Coke bottles to the factory. Having rinsed Scar last week, Doc M knows all about reusing and recycling. This week he recycles the arena at the center of his perimeter so he can reuse the space for a TCG arena later. Still in the grips of card game fever, he's been monitoring the meta to see what his deck needs to beat Etho or Ijevin, both of whom turn up to rub salt into his TCG boosters.
And you said that and I got one from there, like after you said that, Doc.
Yeah, so what? Booster pack.
There's like some there's some stragglers in the system.
No.
Although Doc is just happy to crack an ultra rare TFC from the vending machine. Back at the Hall of Goat, his amethyst farm needed fixing after the chunk loader was broken by the portal to his storage room, and with that taken care of, he decides to build a TNT-based sugarcane farm, which of course also self-destructs when he first switches it on, but the second time's the charm.
Do something? sure did.
All it takes to destroy XP Crafted is apparently the right cards in the hands of Zombie Cleo. But having demolished him in the card game, Cleo is ready to kill him with kindness too. Dropping by to discuss payment for the armor stands at XB's base, XB offers to pay them in cards, and Cleo returns the favor by gifting XB himself.
I do have a rare Explorer XB.
Wait, what? A rare me.
I mean, you know.
Right, but I would just frame it.
You can have it.
Look at him. He's gorgeous.
Yeah.
After all, as we learned from his tour of Corrales' new market and PvP arena, it was XB's 18th birthday.
Tomorrow is a great day because it's your birthday.
It is.
And you will become 18.
Yes.
Elsewhere on the server, we witnessed the birth of Floor 2 of iBuy, also Walls 2 and Ceiling 2, incidentally. And perhaps to justify its very existence, Impulse moves his rocket shop from the attic space of the I Am Mortal Totems and Emeralds store into the newly fashioned iBuy department. He's opening doors for business partners in a different way, challenging first Tango and now Gemini Tay to choose the prize shulker box from behind 3 closed doors, which makes a change from the trapdoor he found Gem lurking under.
Impulse!
Hey, Gem.
I'm trying to work here.
What doing?
But when it comes to lurking below things, Impulse has them all beat. His dwarven keep is expanding ever downwards. So it turns out is the sword in which his nether portal is implanted. To decorate the lower reaches of the build, he extends the sword downward through the ceiling of the next layer.
And I cheated this a little bit. Ken had regular gold ore in here, and I ran out. I'm completely out of gold ore. Gonna have to go on a mission in like a mesa or something looking for some more. And this turned out fantastic. I can't wait.
And finally there's Mumbo, who, despite genuinely being the richest hermit on the server through no fault of his own, is still pinching resources from Grian when he feels like it.
We have a gentleman's agreement. That gentleman's agreement being we both steal from each other and hopefully the amounts even out. I assumed I would be able to find it in this mess. I'm still hoping I should be... How does anyone live like this?
At least he reconfigured the summoning circle so he can own up to it later. But all those diamond blocks have started to weigh on Mumbo's conscience, and he pauses in the act of decorating the trench around his vault to make some gentle inquiries about whether anyone might have displaced a few dozen stacks of diamond ore. Well, first he builds a diamond pillar out of it, which, honestly, Mumbo, is very 2022.
Very, very, very many stacks. Too many stacks. In fact, too many stacks. You know, I've become too rich.
When Azuma and Etho are too honest to claim the diamonds as their own, and Impulse fails to correctly answer the security questions, Mumbo simply returns to his crevice and bridges the gap to the vault, promising to install a proper door soon. Although we're pretty sure if he needs a way into the vault, he just has to wait. There'll be a Grian-shaped hole in the wall soon enough. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.